What's up guys, Ciggy the Piggy here. Marshall said that you guys wanted my Evilswarm profile, so here it is. As you can see, I call this deck Anti-Beetle, short for Anti-Meta Beetle Swarms. And basically, it's designed to beat the current meta, which is Prophecies and Dragon Rulers. And so I main deck several cards that I don't like maining, such as Deck Lockdown, Iron Wall, but that is simply how you get ahead on DN, because it is rather predictable what people will be playing in the high rated matches. My Evilswarm lineup is pretty standard. I only play 2 Kajitokages because I kind of hate Kajitokage. I think it's cloggy like all the time, but it is good for getting out a turn 1 Beetle play. I play 1 Azathoth. I really like Azathoth, and I've always mained 1 in any build I've played. Essentially because I like a combo with King of the Feral Imps, in which I have an Infection set. I search out Azathoth with King of the Feral Imps, use Infection to swap it for a Kirkion. Next turn I can detach again, search out Azathoth, and swap it for another Kirkion. So basically it becomes a Rhoda for Kirkion, which is obviously pretty powerful. And then when it comes down to it, like, all the Evilswarms outside of Mandragora and Caster are kind of useless when it comes to making Ophion, as in it won't increase your speed at all. So Azathoth, a Lantern, you can play what you want. I like to play 1 Allure of Darkness to help draw into my essential cards like Deck Lockdown, Safe Zone, and Vanity. It's also good for getting rid of those dead Kajitokages. I play 1 Dark Hole. As many of you know, Dark Hole is pretty good this format actually. It's pretty good against spellbooks, and it's not even bad against Dragon Rulers, because they open a turn 1 Dragosack, you can kill the tokens, make Ophion, activate Dark Hole, use Pandemic, etc. It's also good for getting rid of Viscaios, Thought Ruler, or Colossal Fighter. Next, 2 Deck Lockdowns. I used to not like this card at all. I would side it, but I found myself siding it all the time against Prophecies and going turn 1 against Dragon Rulers, so I just thought it makes sense to main deck 2 at least. I'm playing 1 Pandemic now, because I just find myself siding it out most of the time against Dragon Rulers. And I hate drawing into Pandemics. Like, if you open 2 Pandemics, like, it's like game. Like, I just hate it, so I only play 1 in my main now. Granted, against like most decks, I do side the 2nd Pandemic because it's not a bad card overall against like rogue matchups and decks that aren't Dragon Rulers, so I like to keep 1 in the side. But I never play 3. Like, I may have played 3 in the back row format, but I would never go back to playing 3 anytime soon. 2 Compulse, still one of the best traps this format. Main 2 Iron Wall. Many people asked me why I don't main EEV anymore. And that's just because between a card that hits both decks and between a card that only hits one of them and is completely useless against the other, as Dragon Rulers, I just thought it makes a lot more sense to main Iron Walls. And the fact is, there are just a lot more Dragon Rulers in the high rated pools than spellbooks. Safe Zones, good for protecting Ophion, and of course the infamous Master Key Beetle Safe Zone lock. Dragon Rulers basically have no answer, even though it's completely dead against spellbooks. A lot of decks just don't have an answer. They have to bounce the safe zone or banish the safe zone or negate the effect of Master Key Beetle. And then I play 2 Vanity's Emptiness, which is obviously for the Dragon Ruler matchup. And combined with Key Beetle, it just becomes really powerful because they can't get rid of it. Granted that you should probably have like some big beater out. Otherwise, if they set like a stream or something, and you just can't get over it either, and that's just like boring times for everyone. Alright, onto my side deck. I'll do my extra deck first. I play 1 Diamond Dyer. It's good for getting rid of problem cards like Decree. 2 Bahamut's, obviously the 2nd best Evilswarm monster. Exceed. I've always played 2. Play 1 Nightmare. It's like godly against the mirror match, because unless they play a Lantern, they just can't get rid of it. And you can easily make it with Kajitokages. Play 3 Ophions right now for the Dragon Ruler matchups. Play 1 Ouroboros. Ouroboros is like a very situational card, but it's just really useful in some situations. Like, it gets over Master of Blades, and you can bounce a Safe Zone if they have the Key Beetle lock on you. uh, King of the Feral Imps for switching out Kage and Azathoth. And I play one Key Beetle only, because I don't find myself ever going into more than one. And I love to play Papal Operative. I've always played it because it's a really clutch card sometimes, especially against Dragossack tokens. 2100 damage can be game changing often, and I have topped the Kirkion and gone into Papal Operative for game once, and so I've always kept it ever since. It's also really good against rogue matchups. Play 2 Drone Lockbirds to stop spellbooks from getting off. 1 Veiler, I side this for spellbooks and going first against Dragon Rulers so I can protect my Ophion from like a Psyblocker or a Tsukiyomi. General rule with Veiler against Dragon Rulers is that you should probably use Veiler on the summon of anything you want to negate, like Psyblocker or Big Eye. Mostly because Dragon Rulers do play the Book of Moon, and if they chain the Book of Moon to your Veiler, then you're just going to be in for a rough landing. So, as a general rule of thumb, I will Veiler on a summon of anything I want to negate. We play 1 Electric Virus. I've been really iffy about this card, been siding it in and out. It's obviously good against Dragon Rulers mostly. Good for their Dragossack, or going for OTKs, I guess. It's not as good as it used to be, just because they like to go into Master of Blades more often than Dragossack against Evilswarms, but 1 can come in handy. I side 1 going second. Heavy Storm is for spellbooks and rogue matchups. Play 2 MST. Usually I like to side 3, but I just don't like siding 3 against spellbooks or Dragon Rulers, so I'll just keep it at 2. Smashing Grounds, only for Dragon Rulers mostly, just because of Master of Blades and other cards like Abyss Gaios, Thought Ruler, Colossal Fighter. And it's not completely dead against Dragossack either, like I said, if you can kill their tokens first. EEVs obviously for the Dragon, the Spellbook matchup, and the 3rd Iron Wall for Spellbooks and Dragons. I've been playing around with 1 Imperial Custom. It's a really fun card to try. Basically protects your Iron Walls and other cards from MST, Blaster, Heavy. I just really fucking hate Heavy, so this is kind of one of my last ditch efforts to protect myself from Heavy, because obviously I don't want to run Starlight. I just fucking hate that card in Evilswarms. Also a fun combo is with Vandy's Emptiness. It won't be destroyed by its own card effect if you have Imperial Custom up. And I resolved this card against my infamous duel against Ivan Rosito. It's pretty fun times. There you have it. That's my Evilswarm deck. Be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the Dark World, whatever that guy. Yep. Peace out, guys.